So I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I stopped calling myself African American, and no shade to the continent of Africa or Africans. I have no issue with them whatsoever for existing and being in the world. But this is just more my personal belief. So if you don't like it, you can keep scrolling. For one, I feel like the label wasn't built for us, that ethnonym of African American. And we've had quite a few of those. That one specifically was built for a narrative. It was more of a framing. And I am 100% convinced that narrative never served us as people from this land. Also, I'm not, comfortable with participating in my erasure. So that's another reason that I'm not comfortable with that. And if you think about how other groups get to be specific, like Polish Americans or Korean Americans or Cuban Americans or what have you, all of those people groups get to be very specific. And each one of those names actually carries real information, culture, language, region, something tangible, something you can hold on to. But African American, so first of all, we know that Africa is a continent with 54 countries, thousands of distinct ethnic groups who are as different as French people are to Japanese people. It's such a wide variety. So then, which Africa, which culture, which country, what about it? And nobody ever really has a clear answer about that. And I think that vagueness has been very convenient for a very long time. Because when you tie our people to a continent versus specifically to this soil, that makes us vague. And vague people are easier to manage, easier to control, easier to revise history, easier to lump together, easier to flatten, and so on. But more importantly, being called vague makes it more difficult for a people group to make a specific claim. But we are a very specific people group. Our ethnicity is not a vague ethnic group. And if you think about it, we are the descendants of people who survived, and I mean survived in every sense of the word survived, and even to this day continue to survive and thrive. And we've had an experience that no other people group went through in the same way specific to this land. Our lineage produced something specific, a culture, a way of seeing the world, right? A creativity and a resilience that the entire globe borrows, by the way. Our culture here was built under conditions that was, meant to destroy it. And it didn't get destroyed. In fact, it became the foundation of just about everything. And we get to pop our collar a little bit about that. I'll give a small example. Music. Okay, jazz didn't start in Africa. Blues didn't start in Africa. Hip hop did not start in Africa. They were born here with our group in these lands to very specific situations and a very specific genius. Another example, our language. And I'll say Ebonics as one of the many different things that we do that continues to have influence, not AAVE, because even that specific academic term wants to root us somewhere else. Ebonics grew here from our specific people and our specific land under our specific conditions. And every time we accept a label that relocates us, right, that makes us from over there than from right here, it makes it harder for us to have specific claims. And we are participating in our own erasure. If we call ourselves African American, then what? It gets complicated, right? It gets vague. The argument becomes, well, you came from somewhere else. You're a visitor. Notwithstanding the fact that we're not even Africans. But we are a specific ethnic group formed here, on the soil here, through very specific, brutal, and documented history here. So the answer is clear. This is our land. This is our country. And this country owes us. We still have unfinished business with this government, specifically for specific things. And I'm not asking you to, forget your ancestry and all of that. I'm not asking that at all. Keep it all. But what I am asking is for us to hold on to the specificity that our ancestors and our elders held the line for here. The culture, our culture, is in our hands, and we have a responsibility to keep it and safeguard it. Because the more broader and more vague our ethnic identity gets, the easier it is for everybody else to benefit from it without returning anything to us. Nothing. The music, the language, the food, the culture, the fashion, the agricultural knowledge, the military service, the spiritual traditions, the way we worship, our essence, the way we organize, the way we unite, the civil rights strategies that became models for the entire world to follow, the way we create community, the way we turn struggle into art, the way we turn limitation into innovation. One might even argue that our culture is innovation. The whole global idea of cool, that belongs to us. That's ours, built here, by specific people. Acknowledging that is not a rejection to our ethnic identity. If anything, it's a proclamation. Be honest, not offended.